Belinda Hagan here and my special guest, Crows coach Brenton Sanderson. I'm a very lucky girl this afternoon and the lines are open too on 8223 30000. We're looking at the man behind the coach. We've already heard that he has a lovely girlfriend called Veronica who used to be a wedding planner and has just come back from spending 2 months in a Kenyan orphanage. We're learning lots and lots. Let's take to the phones now. Mike, you've got a question from Coromandel Valley.
I have. It's not a silly question. My wife bought a business in Coromandel Valley about 4 years ago called Sanderson's Grain and Fodder. Was that anything to do with his family?
Yeah, that was actually my my grandfather's. He ran that with my grandmother for almost 50 years, I think, in Coromandel Valley, and he worked right up there till the day he retired. And it was one of my favourite places to be in school holidays. So I would. We lived about a 10-minute bike ride, so I used to jump on my BMX and ride there to see Grandpa and sit on the back of the truck as he delivered grain and fodder to all the farms up in the Adelaide Hills, Cherry Gardens and stuff like that. So I used to look forward to school holidays to sort of hang out with him and be part of that. But it's really nice that even when they sold it, the people that bought it still kept the Sanderson name. So it's a great little icon in Coromandel Valley. Yeah,
we've kept the Steve name as well because everyone knows it. Yep. And there was no point changing it. And my wife said, no, everyone knows Sanderson's, let's keep it. And
well done, Mike. That sounds like a good move. Thanks so much for your call. Let's go to Maylands. Vassie, hi.
Oh, g'day, Brenton. Good to be speaking to you. Firstly, congratulations so far, and I'm glad I'm back on the Crows because I got sort of taken off with their game last year, so well done on that.
Thank you.
Now, coming back to Adelaide, how have you found just Adelaide the city? Because you've been in Melbourne for some time, and what excites you about? Are you excited about Adelaide Oval and just generally like being back in Adelaide?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Away from football, it's all easy to get around, and just generally, was that a big attraction to coming back apart from the football?
I've always been a really big fan of Adelaide, the football club, but I guess the added attraction for me coming back to Adelaide was to be closer to my family, and I do love the city. I grew up in the Adelaide Hills, and you're right, it's very easy to get around. The people are really nice. I love it down at the beach, down at Glenelg, and obviously, like you said, can't wait for the team to move to Adelaide Oval in 2 years to feel the energy around sort of North Adelaide and north of the city is just going to be fantastic when we can play our home games there against some big clubs on a Friday night or a Saturday night. It's going to really make the city come alive, so something that we're really into.
Excellent. Thanks, Vassie. Let's go to Chris. Hi, Chris. What's your question for Brenton Sanderson?
Brenton, how you going, mate?
Not too bad, thanks, Chris.
I'm loving what you're doing at the Crows. That's magic, mate.
Thank you.
One thing that's... you spent about 16 or 17 years down at Geelong, didn't you?
Yes, I was 16 years at Geelong.
Yeah. Are you into fishing?
Fishing, can I tell you, I've been fishing a few times, and in my whole life I've never caught a fish. So it's something that I don't really get into. But I must admit, we've got a few guys at the club. I know Paddy Dangerfield's got a boat, and he gets out with a few of the boys there on the bay and goes fishing. He always is bragging to the players about how well he goes with the fishing. But for me, I've never caught a fish in my life, unfortunately.
Actually,
thanks for your call, Chris. I've got a question from Veronica of Norwood. If you weren't coaching Brenton, what would you be doing?
That's a good question. I've got my pilot's license, so maybe I would be a pilot. I'm not sure. I've also got a commerce degree, so I studied. My majors were economics and accounting. So
wow.
I'd either be flying an aeroplane or I think I'd be working in an office somewhere crunching the numbers. But I was one of those guys that always had plan B, plan C, plan D, just in case things didn't work out with footy, which they didn't early in my career. But fortunately, it's worked out pretty well. They seem to be going
quite well now. So you're smart, you're good looking, you're fit, you're a great coach. I'm just struggling to find the downside of you, Brenton Sanderson.
Oh, don't worry, there's plenty of downsides.
Can you tell me how you met your girlfriend, Veronica?
We actually met. We met a long time ago. We met 5 or 6 years ago. She's from the Czech Republic. I met her in Dublin, of all places, in Ireland. Then about 18 months later, she moved to Australia. She moved to Sydney to finish her university course. And it was my best mate, Tommy Harley. It was his engagement party in Sydney. He married a Sydney girl, Felicity. So I kept in touch with Veronica, and then I met her when I was up in Sydney for Tom's engagement party, and then there was a few little sparks. And how I think I got her is I flew up there one day to have dinner with her, and then when we're having dinner, she said to me, "When are you going back to Melbourne?" And I said, "Oh, in about half an hour." And so she then said, "What? So you just flew up here to have dinner with me, and then you're flying home?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what I did." So.
Oh my God, you are so romantic.
But that's about the most romantic thing I've ever done. But so that's when I think I had her. I think that's when the moment when I think, wow, that's it. But
wow.
But anyway,
there
that's
you
a
go.
long time
If you
ago.
weren't a Crows fan before then, girls, you are now. Now, are there any wedding bells on the horizon?
Oh, don't ask me that. I don't know. Maybe one day, yeah. I know it's one of those things that you girls ask us guys all the time when you're going to get married, but one day we'll talk about it at the end of the season.
Brad from Modbury wants to know, what sort of wedding would Veronica plan for you, given she is a qualified wedding planner?
That's a good question. You know what she would do? She would be back home in Czech Republic, and it would be somewhere up in the snow. She's an incredible skier. She taught me how to snowboard, so it'll be something in winter up there in the snow, I would think. But how did we get on this topic anyway?
Let's save you and go to Yvonne at Para Hills. Hi, Yvonne.
Hello, Brenton. Hello. First of all, welcome back to Adelaide. It's been wonderful having you here, and I think you won, Veronica, with your beautiful smile.
It's funny you say about the smile, though, because everybody thinks I'm this really happy, smiling guy, but you are some of the players. I've got a real nasty side too. So,
I've got a bit of a footy question, but it's a very simple one. I've been an avid follower of a member for many years, and I was very interested to hear you say that when you were still at Geelong, and it was the last game that you were involved with, Geelong v Adelaide, and you watched the video, and that you saw something. And I mean, we were pretty dismal last year, pretty dismal. And I'm just fascinated to know what you saw.
Like I said, I've always been a big fan of Adelaide Footy Club, and I think Neil Craig did a fantastic job in building this team to where it is now. And I'm very fortunate that I've been able to take over after he did such a great job. And to be honest, they've had some really bad luck with injuries over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and they just probably needed a little bit of a fresh spark. And we brought in some new coaches and some fresh ideas, and the players are really responding to a slight change in system and structure. And I guess one of the big keys is that we have a list who are actually injury free. So if we can sustain that in the second half of the season, we're going to be really hard to beat.
Well, Brenton Sanderson, you are an absolute legend. We wish you all the best of luck for Friday night's game against St Kilda and for the rest of the season. I want to be talking to you later to congratulate you on winning the flag for Adelaide, and then we'll be congratulating you on your wedding proposal, perhaps.
Jesus.
I really appreciate you coming in.
No, my pleasure, Belinda. Thank you.
Speak to you soon.